time I hear you whisper to me that you never would leave me be. I can feel my body echoing for you now.
Do you know what you do to me? It's like a fantasy, I wanna never leave. But isn't it a little funny that you're the one controlling me?
Give me a second. Dude!
I really want to.
I want to as well. Still, it'll be hard to convince Raysturo, since he's the one about to be married. He's the favorite.
Yeah, okay.
You don't know that, Takeru. Maybe she's set to marry you.
No way!
I'm
I
not
don't
even
wanna get
looking.
married.
I'm not even looking.
I don't think you'll have a problem with
Look at that moon. It's
divorce.
so pretty. I'm dying. I'm dying. I looked over to see Sam join the God fucking damn, I can't breathe. Crossing his arms and raising an eyebrow at his brothers.
What are you two talking about?
We got into contact with the human world again.
I'm sorry.
Come on, Ezreal. Give humans too much attention.
Hey, seriously. I'm trying the hers not to look
you
at
gotta
them.
Listen. They apparently have stores and books and schools and stuff.
Yeah. And stuff.
So what?
That's my line.
It's full of humans who piss on each other for no reason. They're no better than the devil spawn.
Them horns, though.
Nuh-uh. The one we were talking to wasn't like that.
Just don't look at him. Just look at the text.
How do you know, Sakeru?
There we go. It's working.
Because I do.
Just covering them with my hand.
What is going on?
Not even going to look.
They want to go to the human world.
The human world?
Yeah.
Raysturo, think about
Not
it.
even looking.
You won't have to marry that girl and be the heir anymore. You could be with us, and we can make lives for ourselves in the new world.
Now you're just talking nonsense.
I vote that we do it.
Okay, the only person I can see is Eric right now, and damn. That's the only one I can see.
Huh? Oh, not you two.
Look at Eric's horns, though.
Think about it. This may be our chance to finally get away from this political nonsense we're stuck in. We may be nobles, but we're still our own beings.
Maybe we'll get some pair of pants, too. Yeah.
Ristro is in.
At least I know their colors.
Ezreal!
Woo! So how do we get there?
Woo!
Are you kidding me? You don't even know how we'd get there.
I don't know.
A simple spell should work, but it would require someone from the human world to help us get there.
We can ask him.
Oh, he'd definitely help us.
Who's that? Is it her?
I'm not so
is it her
sure about-
grandfather?
Reistra, aren't you tired of pleasing father all of the time?
Still the only one I can see is Eric.
I am, but
My arm's getting very tired.
If you stay, you'll be married off and become ruler of father's kingdom. You'll have no time for yourself or with us, and you'll be constantly at war with the other realms for power.
Yeah, still not looking.
You'll most likely turn into the spitting image of father.
My arm's hurting. Whatever!
What
I
I'm
looked.
saying is, get your head out of your ass and let's go. If you don't say yes, I'll drag your princely ass with us. I don't care what that bastard of a father wants.
There we go.
Come on, Raysturo.
Now they're covered with a piece of paper.
all right. Let's do this. What's the plan?
Couldn't believe what was happening. I can't really see what I'm reading. I was seeing the history of their lives before my eyes. They're not white pants. They were nobles, and James was an heir to the kingdom of the commander. The commander ruled. Even more so, he was going to marry Diana. They sacrificed everything to leave to be together. They'd rather be free than remain in their noble roles. Started to feel a little jealous. They were able to leave while I was still expected to be what my father wanted me to be. However, they were able to leave. However, they wasn't certain still, but I knew I would learn in time. I closed my eyes and mentally asked Damien to end the vision. As soon as I asked, the world around me slowly vanished, and it was brought back to the bedroom where I sat with my head nestled in Damien's hands. Awesome! Alright, no more of that. My vision began to clear, letting me fully see the boys around me with all my concerned faces.
So, you now know exactly who we are.
And exactly what you look like, too. Alright, I'll just save that piece of paper for later. Diana's the girl you arranged to marry?
Not anymore. Once we left, the arrangement was broken. With no sons to marry off, her dad couldn't go through with the marriage deal.
If Diana is here for us, that means she's trying to save her kingdom from being attacked.
That's not true. She wants to rule our kingdom. Having one of us will give her the right to our kingdom, as much as we'd have right over hers.
So she's a gold digger.
Yeah, with those boobs?
Well, with a kingdom like ours, what succubus wouldn't want to marry us for it?
Eric, please. It all made sense. She wanted them so that she could finally take over an opposing kingdom. She knew that, despite her powers, she wouldn't be able to fight against their father, so she had to find another way in. That's manipulative. Before I could continue, I felt my head suddenly get heavy and dizzy. I gripped my head, mewling under my breath.
I took too much. I'm so sorry.
God damn it, Damien. Damien, I can't trust you, Damien. It's always just screwing me over, Damien.
Rest now. There's no need to do anything more today.
The boy suddenly rushed over and helped me lay back down as my vision was painted in white polka dots. I never knew how polka dots was really spelled until I just looked at it. I needed sleep badly. Instantly I closed my eyes and the darkness consumed me. After what seemed like an hour, I finally woke up. Oh, I didn't know there was TV in here. It's so cool. Slightly refreshed, my body knew that if I slept any longer, I'd be up all night, which was no part of the plan for that day. I rubbed my eyes and sat up, letting a soft groan escape my lips. In response, something beside my bed shuffled, causing me to look over. I didn't know what I was expecting. Hi! How you doing? If Sony woke up next to me and I was just there, I'd raise my hands up and go, "What's up?" Beside me, sitting in a chair beside the bed, was James. Oh. Hold on. There we go, move my legs. Was James rousing himself? What does that mean? Rousing himself up to see me awake. Oh! I smiled at him, seeing him slightly ruffled hair and tired eyes.
Oh, you're awake. Good. Ooh, how do you feel?
I was gonna say, I love his hair. I feel better. James on before gently reached over and ran his hands through my hair, examining my face with soft sadness.
I'm sorry this is all happening to you. I really wish there was something I could do to fix all of this.
It's not your fault.
No, if we never came, then you'd never be targeted by either Malix or Diana.
Well, Max is gone now, so don't worry about that. That was an enemy quickly dealt with. I quickly reached over and put my finger on his lips, almost at hips, stopping him from going any further. I didn't want to hear anymore. James is okay. I wanted to help you out. I offered to let you all stay. Nothing is your fault. I gently moved my hand and cupped James' cheek, staring at him with concern. I didn't want him to hold guilt in his mind about the whole ordeal. Diana was desperate and she'd hunt anyone for them. It wasn't his fault. She was desperate enough to hunt them down. However, I was curious. So James, you're a demon prince, huh? You're a prince, huh? Yep. James then twirled a strand of my hair around his finger, staring at it.
Yes, I am.
And I'm very interested in hair.
I was a demon prince when I lived in the Abyssal Plains. I didn't enjoy a single minute of being the heir. The only moments I truly enjoyed were when I was with my brothers. Thus, I left with them to come here.
What was it like while you were there?
Well, other than consistent studying and training to be a resilient leader and all-around ruthless lord, it was bland. I never truly knew what freedom was until I was excused from my sessions.
James looked at me with a thoughtful look on his face. I stared back, wondering what was going through his mind. He then smiled before taking off his glasses and placing them on my... I forgot he wore glasses! I totally forgot he had glasses on his face. I was surprised, but instead of seeing him, I saw dark gold-purple magic swirl in front of my eyes through the glasses. Woo! What? Vision cleared and I was suddenly back in the demon castle. No, not again! I looked around, feeling stuck in place, but my eyes instantly landed on a demon version of James. No, not again! Where's my paper? Ah! I got my paper, don't worry about it. There we go. Why again? I was sitting on the throne of the main hall, reading over a book with intense expression. It was kind of cute. He was. Why'd I say I? It was kind of cute to see, but he read in silence.
You'll wear out your eyes if you read too much.
What the hell? I gotta put on a piece of paper. What is this? Okay. Paper back up. Just fucking stay. James looked up from the book to see a figure materialize in front of him. It was an older woman with a black cloak and aged horns. I could see she had power, though it gave me shivers to look at her.
Sirona, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be at the Lord gathering with my father?
I should, yes. But I had to stop by and see the Demon Lord's favorite son before I head in.
I am honored. However, I must apologize and return to my reading.
Of course, of course. Wouldn't want to make the Demon Lord angry now, would you?
I could see James' eyes switch a bit more at her comment. However, James simply bowed his head and went back to his book in silence. Sirona shook her head and let out a chuckle.
What will you do when you become the Demon Lord? It's such a big responsibility.
I really wish I could stop staring at his crotch right now. Sorry, but that's where I'm reading. James looked up once again, confused at the question. Sirona simply smiled and began to walk away.
Think about that.
James and I watched her walk away, both of us with the same surprised and confused expression. Looked back to James to see him press his lips together and stare at the floor. Anyone could tell that he was lost, unsure of how to even answer to that to himself. It was strange to see him in a form of weakness. Jostled at the simple question. That was more than it appeared. James closed his eyes and closed the book on his lap. It was then that I noticed the tired circles under his eyes. He had been working himself to the bone with his training and reading. When was the last time he slept? I could feel James in the real world gently slide the glasses off my face and place them back on his. Thanks, piece of paper. You're gonna be my best friend, piece of paper. It's a little... Actually, it's 2 pieces of paper. The gasp! Amazing! I got 2. I got a backup. Took me a second to re-center my vision, but then I looked at James, who smiled at me.
It was then that I decided to find my brothers. Little did I know that they were wanting me to come on a trip that would make me leave my entire realm to be in a new world.
I stared up at him, surprised before bringing my hand gently back onto his cheek and running a thumb softly under his eye. He looked healthier and a lot less tired than when I saw him in the vision. Something about that made me happy. James gently leaned into my hand, closing his eyes and relaxing. He then smiled gently, trying to joke.
So, how does it feel to hold the affections of an ex-demon prince?
Kinda cool! I stared, feeling my cheeks glow red in surprise at the embarrassment, but I smiled and giggled slightly, running my thumb back and forth along his cheek gently. I have to say, I'm flattered to think you ran away from that life. James frowned, making me stop moving my thumb as he stared at me.
I can promise you, that was no life to live.
I bet. But it was your
A
home.
home is where you can be yourself, not tied to your duty.
James gently ran his hand along my cheek, gingerly outlining the edge of my eye and... Sorry. Paper. Eye and ear with his thumb.
Home is where all I have to do is care about the ones close to me.
Aren't you just precious? James. James smiled and gently leaned in, kissing my forehead. I felt a small shiver run down my spine. I gotta learn to take a breath when I'm talking. I felt a small shiver run down my spine from his kiss. Nothing that he sneakily took some energy from me in that little kiss.
No, you need to rest. You're not fully recovered. You might as well rest until dinner is ready.
Ooh. James smiled and gently pressed me back down on the bed, leaning his forehead on mine. This could affect stuff. And we now know the colors too, so I can always look back to that. Yay. I had playful fun and lifted my head and gently kissed James, softly laying a hand on his cheek to kiss his face close. Okay. James stared in surprise before kissing me back, caressing my cheek, slightly melting at the touch of our lips. A soft sigh escaped his lips before he slowly pulled away with it. This is so cute. With a smile, he gently licked his lips, making me go red in the face at a simple gesture. He let out a satisfied hum before nuzzling my forehead.
Rest.
Will do! Like, piece of paper. And with that, he stood up and left the room, leaving me to rest as per his request. I smiled to myself before relaxing into the mattress. Don't you ever go away! I suddenly tensed up. I felt majorly uneasy. Something wasn't right. I felt it in my core. She must be here. The thought of her in the house infuriated me beyond belief. I had to make sure that she was not here. I rolled out of bed, quickly left my room, wandering the halls and listening closely. She was doomed, but I was listening very intently. There was no way she would have been able to sneak up on me. I know you're here. Where are you? I feel myself growl. It wasn't a matter of fear that she'd take away the boys anymore. Sorry. Her very existence had lit a fire of rage within my gut, which only grew as each day went by. This food was going to get on my nerves, and I knew it would not end well for one of us. Wasn't going to lose to that demon bitch.
Diana, what are you doing here?
My heart stopped. Diana was with James. My mind flew into slow motion, playing fake images of Diana trying to seduce James. Seduce! In my head, to further fan the angry flame inside me, I instinctively followed James' voice and approached the study. The door was open just a crack wide enough to peek in without being noticed. Peeked inside, stopped with the music. Peeked inside to see James by the bookshelf with Diana in one of the armchairs, looking at...
Silly man,
Yeah.
why do you think I'm here?
Go away.
To be fairly honest, I don't really care.
I'm hurt, wounded, truly. You don't care that I came to this pathetic little world just for you?
I'm sorry, let me make this clear. You are not welcome here, so I suggest leave it.
Is that any way to speak to your fiancé?
Sorry. Diana wasn't his fiancée anymore. Why was she speaking as if the arrangement was still going on?
Our arrangement was broken when I left the Abyssal Plains. You are no longer my fiancé.
What a stubborn man. Just like your father. Well, you should know. He decreed that should you return home, you'll maintain your status and keep your birthright.
James would be the heir again? Why?
I don't want it.
You don't want it. You'd give up the...
I said I don't want my death.
Okay, calm down!
What birthright? It's imprisonment, a life sentence. Am I not allowed to be selfish for once in my lifetime?
Okay.
It's your reason for your birth. Do you not realize what you have?
I could feel James' anger emanating from the crack in the door, fighting with Diana's tension. Diana and James were both matched, staring at each other down.
I know exactly what I had. It's all behind me. I'm done with that. To hell with my birthright.
To hell with your birthright. You truly think you can decide that? You are the first son of the Demon Lord. You are the heir to the throne, and I am your bride, the next Demon Queen.
Why was Diana so desperate? It irked me to see how desperate she was to get James' return. And my eyes itchy.
Raestrow, you...
All of a sudden, James ran in at Diana and pinned her to the floor by her neck. Whew! I felt the need to jump in, but I knew James wasn't trying to do anything romantic. He wouldn't. His voice sent shivers down my spine as they continued to speak with his hand on her throat.
What gives you the right to use my name like that? Only demons of the same blood are permitted to use each other's true names.
When our families arranged our marriage, I was given permission to use your name as mine. That's what you are, James. You are my husband. I am your queen. You are my Raestrow. I am your Izzy.
I could hear James growling in anger, like he was ready to bite Diana's head off like a wolf with a small deer. Well, I felt myself growl quietly to myself as well. However, James pushed himself off the floor and returned to the opposite side of the room, away from the prone Diana. Oh, hello. Hello.
I do not belong to you. I belong to her.
I wish you said the name.
The human girl.
I belong to
You must
Sexto.
be joking. A human like her can't possibly provide you what you need. She's a human. You're a demon.
I felt the urge to storm in and shut her mouth. It would give away my position, but I was growing extremely tired of Diana. Hold your position! I didn't want to step in at the wrong time. James could handle Diana. I trusted him enough to fight for me. I stood my ground and watched him in
You
silence.
seem to overestimate the value of your efforts. You will not convince me or any of my brothers to leave with you.
Truly? I could always enthrall you to come back.
You and I both know that that costs energy, and from what I've gathered, You've spent a majority of your energy already just trying to find us and terrorize the human.
Observant, aren't you?
It was true. She was constantly using her power. She didn't have a recharge option like the boys did with me. She must have been weak. She could lose her fight. Diana sighed before crossing her arms and leaning on one hip.
This was a complete waste of my time. I should have just enthralled your little human girlfriend and made her jump off a cliff.
James looked at Diana, glaring daggers into her soul as she raised her arms up gently as if to block his attempting to scare her.
I'm not surprised she hasn't come out of her little hiding spot to come and defend you.
Welp! Welp. Diana then looked over in my direction, locking eyes with me. I froze in surprise. You know I was there. Diana smirked and I stepped into the door.
Humans are such fleeting creatures. She can never fully and truly love a demon.
Diana then slid her gaze to James before sinking into the ground and the pentagram appearing around her feet.
Let me know when you figure that out, my dear. I'll come running.
And with that, Diana vanished, leaving James and I alone in the room, left in silence. Finally let out the air I was unconsciously holding in my chest. Relaxing from the ordeal, James stepped to me and held me gently, surprising me.
Are you okay?
Well, I realized I just made the wrong choice. I nodded in response, unable to speak, so immediately after being surprised, James let out a sigh, relaxing in the embrace. Jenny placed my hands around him, returning the embrace slightly. Slightly? I don't know. I wasn't sure what to do. All of this was spinning in my head in circles before I decided to simply look up at the man holding me. James smiled back happily in response. James gently leaned in and kissed my forehead before slightly, there we go, pulling away from the embrace.
You need to rest still.
James then wrapped an arm around my shoulder and lowered his other arm underneath my knees. I easily held on to him as he lifted me up like a blushing bride and carried me out of the room towards my room. James was kind enough to know I mind and I would not force the issue no matter what. He was too sweet and I didn't deserve his kindness. Well, James gently lowered... I gotta stop playing with this piece of paper. James gently lowered me into the bed before petting my head with a loving smile. I was beaming in happiness. Ah! As James kissed my forehead and turned to leave, I slowly sank into the covers, relaxing. Some of the footsteps echoed before I finally was alone. Rested my head against the pillow, enjoying the cool that they provided as I closed my eyes. Wow. I'll be ready when I'm ready. Will it be soon? Who knew? Be ready for what? All I knew that the moment I made my choice, it felt right. What? Gay?
I will not leave here empty-handed.
Just go away! Tried to open my eyes at the sound, but I felt my eyes remained shut. Instinctively wanted to move. My body felt frozen. What was Diana doing? Felt my body lift up from bed, leaving me to hover, quake in fear. I wanted to scream, but my voice was frozen as well. Felt Diana move and angle her face over mine. Wanted to move away, but at the same time felt like I was blissfully melting in her gaze.
Well, if I can't return home with the boys, I might as well return home with the power to fight back.
Ah, shit. Diana finally leaned in and kissed me. Girls can't love girls! I tightened my closed eyes, feeling the need to bite her lip, but finding no muscles in my face. Listening to my mental commands. What did she do to me? I didn't want to enjoy it, but every single nerve in my body was flaring in excitement and pleasure. She kissed me. Stop it! My energy drained slowly, but forcefully from my body. She was using her magic to force energy out of my body. It seemed like forever, but finally Diana pulled away from the kiss with an audible lick of her lips. She lowered me back onto the patio and chuckled. For some reason, I could feel her presence. She felt stronger, more powerful. It was almost like I was like looking at new Diana. I don't like this. So I was lowered back into bed. Diana chuckled at me. I grew even more fearful. What should we go and do with the boys now? To my surprise, her presence vanished, and I felt at ease. It was like an on and off switch Diana pulled on me. Was this normal? Hell no! She was a major nut job! I relaxed slightly, trying to sleep again. Thankfully, I succeeded. The rest of the story can almost be passed over with Diana. All my life, nor my friends were never gonna happen. I never appeared in the world. She cared for me, remained close with each other. This would be like a simple fairy tale ending. He didn't step over my boundaries, and I deeply appreciate it. James remained faithful to me, living with me and serving me like a servant. I needed to help run the house. Anyway, it was almost funny to think about the ex-Prince Demon King, human girl. The others decided to leave on their own accord. They knew that my future would only need James at my side, so they each decided to start their own lives in the human world. James was heartbroken at first, but understood that he had to let his brothers grow like he did. I felt bad as well for being closer to James than the others, but they had I cannot talk because I'm just so confused. But they had reassured me that I was okay, that I was okay, that they would remain nearby should I ever need them. I was happy for that. But what of my future? Well, it was kind of made for me. Before I graduated, James decided to step into the light of the Anderson Toy Company, and with the help of his demon powers and leadership of charisma, he managed to influence not only the entire board, but my father, as well to letting him run for CEO. I was beyond shocked how James managed to do all of that. It was beyond me, but when the vote was called, James had taken over the company I was destined to have. He vowed to respect the wishes of the late CEO and help the company become an even grander company. For a demon, it was simple to make a company grand. My grandfather would have been proud to see how James helped it shine. With the CEO position filled, my father had no choice but to let me decide my future, which made me happy beyond compare. No longer would I have a future of scaring me into a corner. I could choose my own life. That being said, I was still scared of where the future was going to take me. What did I want to do? Did I want to help James build the company? Did I venture on my own? James reassured me that he would support me and help me through whatever I decided to do, promising that I came first before the company. He had come to reign over. I was grateful that would never forget that promise. I was happy nothing could shake down from that happiness. I'm confused. One morning I woke up and took all that happened as if they were all a dream. Demons, devils, and magic. It was all surreal to believe, but it almost frightened me to think they could have all been a dream. My fears vanished, however, as a knock appeared on the bedroom door. Come in. What's going on? The door opened to reveal James with a small tray of food for me. A vase with a golden rose set beside a hot plate of pancakes, eggs, bacon, decorating the breakfast beautifully.
Good morning.
What's going on? Simply smiled. It wasn't a dream. I still had James. It felt like a magic air surrounded me. I wasn't alone. James walked over and placed a tray on the bed across my legs.
I hope you had a good sleep.
I'm very confused. I did. I had a dream about everything that happened to us.
Oh? What do you remember?
Everything, how he meant, how he cared for me, everything. It almost made me believe it was all a dream. James smiled at me and got on one knee beside the bed, taking one of my hands in his.
If this was all a dream, may we never wake up.
James gently kissed my hand, making my heart flutter slightly. His devotion to me was beyond imagination. That was my happily ever after. I'm missing two. So... Excuse me a moment. Okay, hold on. It took a moment to read this. Suzu? No. Wait. Oh, because... Okay, it's not like dating stuff, I hope. Anyway, I think we're gonna go get those other ones. These other two in another episode. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.